For the first question, how does the performance management cycle operate? Performance management cycle composed of planning, monitoring, reviewing, and acting. First, we have the planning, which pertains to the setting of performance goals and expectation of groups and individuals. In this cycle, all efforts work towards the achievement of company objectives. So wherein the employees need to know each details in order to achieve the company objectives. In general, rules, key results, areas, technical competencies, behavioral competencies, and objectives is a step for a successful performance management system. Next, we have the monitoring. To sum up, monitoring has an involvement of measuring in terms of output and input. It has been mentioned that they entails giving constant feedback to employees regarding their progress in achieving the goals of the organization. Next, we have the reviewing, in which performance is reviewed from time to time, which is very important in the management cycle. Lastly, we have the acting, which giving an employee feedback on his or her accomplishment of organizational goals. Second question, what is the role of top management in the effective supervision of the organizational performance? In my understanding, top management is responsible for establishing policies, guidelines, and strategic objectives, as well as for providing leadership and direction for quality management within the organization. It should also establish those responsible and hold them accountable for a wide variety of management system processes. It's a way of a company to meet the objectives. So, third question, how can biases of performance management be avoided? So we have here clear work expectation. One thing that biases of performance can be avoided is through defining a standard criteria against which an employee's performance is evaluated. So as a result, managers should decide and set employees' goals at the start of the performance period. They must leave no room for surprises. Fourth question, how should management address resignation issues? Resignation issues happens when an employee volunteered to leave in the company. Employees know their worth as employee. That's why most of them transfer to other companies to obtain higher salaries and benefits. In general, a management should give better opportunities to the employees. So we have here, pay employees what they're worth. Some employees know their self-worth. That's why employees need to be treated fairly in all aspects. We also have prioritizing employees' health and well-being. There are companies that concern with employees' health and well-being, and this thing can encourage the employees to work harder. The whole management is powerful when there's a good relationship among the co-workers and to those who's in the higher position. This could also be a good way to avoid resignation issues in the management. It can affect employees' motivation. And we also have compensation. As what I have said earlier, employees nowadays know their self-worth. That's why they are truly have a high standards in terms of the total compensation. So lastly, we have is performance management really necessary? Can it be optional to conduct for the organization? What will be the implication if there will be no performance management? So here, my answer is yes. Performance management is very important. How can we identify if that business meets its own objectives? So this can be a way of maintaining a high standards for your organization. It gives guidance, motivation, and rewarding employees. It also tracks the employees' performance. In that way, employees can identify if the skills they contribute to the management is already enough. Then, conducting for organization is highly needed in the business, since meeting objectives is the best achievement in a business. So, without performance management, the entire organization will continuously have an issue. In the employee side, they will likely lose self-esteem, which can resentment towards management at the organization as a whole. and ultimately damaging employee morale across the company and leading to reduced engagement and lower performance rates.